everyone. Welcome into another episode of the East Alabama Works video podcast. East Alabama Works, of course, is your regional workforce council for Region 2 in the state of Alabama. We cover 7 counties of East Alabama, and we work with all kinds of industries and partners to encourage the workforce, to increase the workforce, to make sure that everybody who wants to work has the ability to work and gets the right training to work and all of those kind of things. So we're a big giant oak tree with a lot of branches on it and a lot of partners that we work with to make that happen. And I want to introduce you to one of those partners today. And our guest is Christy Smith. Christy is the coordinator for a program called Project Search in Etowah County. You may have heard of it, you may not have heard of it, but it's an important program that you want to learn more about. And Christy, we welcome you to the podcast today, and thank you for taking time with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carl. I'm glad to be here. Definitely want to talk about what Project Search is. A lot of people have never heard of Project Search. So we are a free paid internship program for out-of-school youth ages 18 to 24. And usually our youth has had a individualized education plan during their high school years. So we take, we look at graduating seniors, but also anyone in that age range from 18 to 24. Our internship, it immerses the interns in a hands-on work environment where they can explore up to 3 different career fields, career paths at our host site. We are hosted here at Gaston Regional Medical Center, who is a gracious host of ours and partner of ours for this program. And we also look at some of our local community businesses as well. So when we say those career paths, so they may be different things like someone may be interested in shipping and receiving. So we have a warehouse here. The hospital is a city inside itself. So
Right.
It allows us to actually explore those careers in one spot. So it's easier for us to kind of manage, anywhere from 8 to 12 individuals each year. So we actually
let's go back. We don't want to give it all away in the first 5 minutes.
Yes.
So we got a little time. So you said you serve individuals usually who have had an IEP in school. What does that mean to the average person who's not familiar with that? Developmental disabilities, physical disabilities, those kind of things?
Yes, that is correct. So an individualized education plan, usually from a high school, usually has things with disabilities on there. There could be also people with 504 plans. So we range in difference of disabilities that may be just hearing impaired. It may be a learning disability as far as ADHD, or it could be someone on the autism spectrum. But we've serviced people that have had Down syndrome, someone with CP, someone just wheelchair bound, all of those things throughout our 7 years here at Gaston Regional.
And it's incredible that you are taking these young people who have these barriers to employment that most people would say is a barrier to employment, and you're teaching them job skills, you're teaching them skills as to how to be a good employee, plus you're getting the skills training, and you're taking someone who might otherwise not be working or who may be on disability, and you're giving them the opportunity and the ability to go out and get a job and work.
Yes, that is correct. We have like a 9-unit curriculum. So we cover things from team building, workplace safety, technology, self-advocacy. That's huge for that particular community. It's for self-advocacy and very, learning how to advocate for yourself, how to maintain employment, how to gain employment. We also go over financial literacy, health and wellness, preparing for employment. So we do resumes. We go through the process of really understand how to use Microsoft. In high school now, I know for myself, I have a 15-year-old daughter that they use Google Classroom all the time. So when I tried to teach her how to use a Microsoft to do a paper on and then transfer it, she didn't understand. She never,
Right.
They had never introduced Microsoft Word. So we actually teach our interns that as well. We also do social communication skills. Those are huge. We usually have about, I want to say, 30% of our interns on the autism spectrum. So there's going to be those barriers with that social and communication,
Right.
between people on jobs and things of that nature. So we do a lot of role playing. We do a lot of scenarios to help them get comfortable with those things. We do mock interviews. We do all different things. We do with the team building as well, just communicating with their peers is a huge thing because, once you get on a job, there's some time or another, even if you like working by yourself, you're going to have to talk to people.
Right.
So it's very important for them to get that skill and be able to communicate well with that.
And how do you accomplish that with some of these students? A lot of people will just, with someone who has developmental disabilities, just say this is impossible. This is not going to work. How do you encourage that and make this happen for these students to give them the independence that they gain in the end?
Well, like I said, Project Search is very unique. So we're able to go as fast or as slow as we need to with these individuals. I think that's what makes us so successful with our employment rates is that we are able to tailor Project Search. Even though we have 8 to 12, we're still tailoring it to them individually.
Mm-hmm.
So in the mornings, we have a paid teacher that comes from one of our partners, Gaston State. And she teaches in the morning for about an hour. And so we go over those skills every morning. We go over those skills in that curriculum. In the afternoons, we have an hour of reflection time. So we go again over what we learned this morning, what we could have done better on the job. All those things, we go over those again. And we also do hands-on job coaching, which is free. It's, of course, during the training period, but once they get employed as well, we come with them before we fade away from them. We come with them. And so it's an added plus for an employer to hire someone out of Project Search because they basically have a trainer and they don't have to take money or lose something from that job by having their employees all working on this one person when we can actually help them learn that job as well. So that's just an added incentive for people in the community to hire our Project Search interns. So, but we take that time, and the internship is essentially a 9-month program. Mm-hmm. However, if they gain those skills and that knowledge prior to the whole 9 months, then we pursue employment. So, like I said, it's Project Search is able to be tailored to that individual. Parents can feel safe with us and feel that, okay, my child is getting the information that they need. They are being, they may not be as fast as the next intern, or they may be, their disability is different from the next person. So that's, we make sure that we tailor the whole program to that individual to make them successful.
Mm-hmm. Part of our relationship between East Alabama Works and Project Search is funding through the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. You guys apply for grants, and the WIOA board for Region 2, which is housed as part of East Alabama Works or managed by East Alabama Works, oversees that, grants that request or those money things. So that's the starting place of our relationship with East Alabama Works and you guys. So talk about that funding and how that funding is important and what you guys can do because of that funding.
That funding is very important for us. The funding actually helps us. We have another skills trainer instructor that works with our interns as well. So the first thing that comes to mind is, it helps us staff-wise to be able to tailor our program individually as interns enter Project Search. But also it helps us with that grant. We're able to go through another partner of ours along with you guys, the Gaston Career Center, mm-hmm. and we're able to do work-based learning with these individuals so they can actually earn while they are in our program. They can earn a paycheck They can actually, we sit down with their first paycheck and we do, our financial literacy courses. And we go over how to save, how do I open my bank account, how do I get direct deposit, those types of things. So the funding is very important to the program. And sometimes, we actually have individuals that are, they are in need of a job, but they just don't have the skills. So sometimes I will receive someone that has been through 3 jobs in 1 month, and they just really need the money because there's things that they need to provide for or things of that nature, but they just don't have the skills. So coming into our program, that grant money allows us to help them learn the skills that they need and actually get paid while doing it.
That's awesome, and provides that incentive to put the time in if they're getting paid for it, and then they see what the result is going to be. We talk a lot about barriers to employment in workforce development, and I'm sure you guys see that a lot. And one of those that immediately comes to mind is transportation. How do you address the transportation issues? Because some of the students you see maybe can't get a driver's license or things like that. How do you guys address the transportation issue for them to get to your program? Then once they get a job, able to actually get to the job.
Well, we have definitely have a partnership, of course, with Alabama Department of Rehab Services. And through our counselor, Brandy Mills, we are able to help connect our individuals with a driving coach. So some of them may come in with just an ID, some may have just a permit. We're able to get them help to make sure that they have their permit and able to actually go ahead and do the driving course test. So we do have an instructor that will come by our host site, pick the individuals up, take them out driving for about an hour, and then drop them back off. So they start their work, they'll start working in their departments again. So we have had that partnership the whole time we've been in existence, and that has worked well. We've had several interns to receive their driver's license, feel more independent, feel more confident about what they're doing. And we've also had where some of our interns needed, transportation. Like you said, we got to figure out, how do you get to the job? How would you get to the host site? So we've used city transportation. We've been able to use city and rural transportation to bridge those gaps for some of our interns. We've even had a guy that had to ride both. One would take him so far, and then he would get on the next one. So we actually teach our individuals how to ride the city transportation, how to pay for that city transportation. So those are things that we can help with as well.
Awesome. Well, you mentioned earlier your relationship with the Gadsden Regional Medical Center. You're housed within the hospital, and your interns are scattered throughout the hospital, working and learning in some of the different departments there. That's got to be an amazing relationship. And I know that with the pandemic, that presented some challenges, but you guys are back full force and back in the hospital now. Did I understand that correctly?
Yes, that is correct. And the community, I have to say, the community was great as well. During the pandemic, we definitely had a lot of community businesses that opened their doors to us to let us continue to train these individuals. But, big kudos to the hospital, because they didn't forget about us. As soon as they could open their doors back to us, they definitely did. And this year it has been, a little different, kind of slowly merging in, but they have done wonderful. We have a lot of kids that have come through the program that are in departments like radiology, in departments like the warehouse and shipping and receiving. They're in one of the ones that I just adore, the cancer center. It takes a real heart to be in that, in that position. So our interns have loved coming back to the hospital and have loved the experience that they're getting here. And so we actually have had 3 hired already here at the hospital this year. So it's been very exciting for us. And they are continuing to be, one of our number 1 supporters. And so it's been a really good experience this year.
How did that relationship with Gaston Regional come about and grow into the great relationship it is?
HR, the human resource department here is wonderful. They have always been in our corner, always tried to see what we could do different, how we could work things out. Always willing and open arms. But their relationship came about in 2015, actually, and some members from the Alabama Department of Health, Mental Health, and Alabama Department of Rehabilitation Services came over and said, "Hey, we have this program. It's a new program. It's only so many in Alabama at this time, but you would be a great place to start this program because of the size of how many employees is actually in Gaston Regional." So the size and it being one of the major employers in Etowah County. Most project search departments, they actually are housed in hospitals. Probably about 90% of the programs are in hospitals. They have some in, maybe in nursing homes or at colleges, but a huge amount of project search programs are in hospitals. So it just kind of fit at that time. It just kind of fit together. And it was, a great opportunity for the hospital to service the community as well.
Absolutely. Now, you are currently toward the end of your recruiting season. Is that correct? And you're getting ready to get the next group of interns get them through boot camp, and then the class will start in August. How do people get applications and more information? And I know you have an open house coming up and things like that. Give us some of those details.
Okay, we actually have an open house coming up on Tuesday, February 22nd. It's from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. and it's at the office of Alabama Department of Rehabilitation Services, and that's 1100 George Wallace Drive, and that's on the campus of Gaston State Community College. So we have an open house there, and we also are going into the schools as well for kids that are, graduating seniors. Parents can, they'll have information sent home to every senior that has an individualized education plan to let them know of the options. And you can also contact us here. Our information is on our website. If you go to Google, all you have to put in is Etowah County Project Search. We also have information on Facebook as well. Just search Etowah County Project Search as well. But you can also contact Brandy Mills, who is a counselor at ADRS, which is the Alabama Department of Rehabilitation Services. She actually has those. And if anyone is in the school system, the job coach for Etowah County, she will have applications as well. But our office is located in the 500 building of Gaston Regional. So we're just adjacent to the hospital, and anyone can walk in and get an application as well. But I also give out my phone number personally. It's 256-594-7395. They can give me a call. We do go out and meet individuals if we need to, so that is not a problem with us. But we definitely have plenty of applications. We'll continue to recruit up until June. That will be kind of our cutoff time. That allows us to do an assessment. We actually do assessments on our interns and make sure this program is for them. And we also refer. So if this program is not what they need, or this is not something that it looks like it would be a better option for them, then we do refer them out to different services in the community. So that may be something that looks like they may be better suited for a program at Gadsden State, or they may be better suited for a program that the Career Center offers, or they may be suited for, an assessment with Darden as well. So we definitely make sure that we are servicing the community and servicing anyone that comes to us, and make sure we're making those referrals as well.
What does a typical day look like for one of your students? How many days of the week are they with you? How long is the day? That kind of thing. But what's a typical day look like?
Well, this year, the typical day is a little different. We're working through the pandemic. So this year, the days are different. We are hopefully planning next year to go back to our regular days. So the regular days would start from 8 to 2:30 every day. And they would do the hour of instruction in the morning, and then, anywhere from an hour to 30 minutes in the afternoon. So they are on the floor here working 5.5 hours usually. So they get a 30-minute lunch break, just like all employees of Gaston Regional. And they are immersed in this environment just as an employee. So they are expected to, make sure they have their badges on. They have scrubs that it says Project Search, but they are in their scrubs as well. They are, in dress code for everything that goes on here. So during that 5.5 hours, they are on the floor doing the exact job someone here in the hospital does. And that's what I would want to clarify, that, sometimes we create jobs for different reasons. For different people with disabilities, we create jobs, but we try to stick to the exact job that's being done here. Now, there's accommodations and modifications that we may need to make, but we start out with the exact job that is being done here. We definitely want to make sure we are giving them the quality of, supported employment and being inclusive in employment. So the typical day, like I said, it just, it usually runs from 8 to 2:30, and they come in and we dismiss by 3 o'clock every day.
Is that 5 days a week, Monday through Friday?
That is Monday through Friday, and we don't do weekends. However, if someone is employed and they're actually has weekend hours, they will still be allowed a job coach on the weekend as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, once the students get to a certain point in your program or we're ready to graduate, you said, if they're able to go out and work, you let them go ahead and go out and get that job and work. Talk about the community as a whole. I've seen the list of people who have hired your students, and it's an impressive list of businesses all over Etowah County who are supporting your program by hiring your students. So that means you guys are doing something right, because those students are providing something of value to these companies to the point that they're coming back and getting more, or they're hiring these students. They're seeing the value in these students. So talk about the community as a whole and how you work with the community.
Yes, we work with a lot of the community leaders and a lot of the nonprofits. We try to stay engaged with. We are a member of the chamber. We try to stay engaged with all of the community businesses. And we do have some that, just call us and they say, hey, do you have someone? I have this type of position available. And they give us a whole criteria of, what needs to be done and how. And they look for our honest opinion of, do we have someone that we could train to do the job, or do we have someone that could actually do the job right away? So those relationships are built, and we started building those very early. And each year, during the summer, we go out into the community, we talk to different businesses, we make them aware of the program. When I talk to the businesses, they tell me, they say, I need somebody that can stay off their cell phone. I need somebody that can pass a drug screening. I need somebody that's honest. I need somebody on time. Those are, my top 4 things that they are looking for. And I feel so good that I'm able to offer that, because that's what we build through Project Search. We're continually trying to build a pipeline of great employees for our community. And that's all they really want. And, that's all we want, is for them to gain that integrated competitive employment that's very inclusive. And so the relationships that we build are through, networking and lunches with, doing brunch and different things with the community people. So when we look at it, I think the chamber is a huge help for us, being a member of the chamber, because we're always introduced to new businesses as they come along. And so we're able to bridge those, if it's nothing but a first meet and greet, they know what Project Search is, or they can tell me, I've heard of that. So we make sure we get out to the new businesses and we introduce ourselves.
Well, we've talked about the funding from WIOA and the support you get from ADRS, but what do you need? What do you need for the community to know about you guys, or what can the community do for you?
The community could help us find new recruits. This program is so wonderful, and we take pride in everything we do and every individual that we help. And so we don't think there's a lot of awareness still about the program. So what we're looking for is referrals. If we could have the community say, I know someone that may benefit, send them our way. It doesn't hurt for them to come in and do an assessment and fill out an application and see if this program is for them. So we would definitely love the community just to be aware of Project Search and be able to send us referrals, be able to come yourself if you feel like this is a program for you. Because like I said, you won't know unless you try it. You won't know unless you ask questions and you fill out the application and see if this is for you. And like I said before, the best thing about us is we don't just turn you away. If this is not for you, we try to refer you to one of our community leaders that will actually be able to help you in whatever you would like to do.
And again, you serve young people from the ages of 18 to 24. That's your age group right there.
Yes, 18 to 24. Youth are usually out of school. It does not matter if you have a high school diploma or a GED in our program. So either or is fine, but just youth 18 to 24.
Anything we haven't talked about that we need to hit on?
I think that is about it. I know just definitely open enrollment is again now until June. Also, that open house again is Tuesday, February 22nd from 4 to 5:30 at the Office of Alabama Department of Rehabilitation Services. And that is on George Wallace Drive, which is 1100 George Wallace Drive. And definitely contact me. I can definitely get with you. If you can't come into the office, that is fine. We can definitely set up something. I can meet. We're still in a pandemic, so we are very comfortable with, wearing masks and continuing to wear masks. And if we need to be in another setting to get this information out.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to come on the podcast today and let us help spread the word about Project Search. And remember that the best way to find more information is just simply go to Google and search Etowah County Project Search, and you'll get their website and all of their contact information right there. Christy, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Carl.
And folks, thank you for joining in for the East Alabama Works video podcast. We'll see you next time.